Hello, everyone. This is D. Knight again, author of A Realistic Path to Peace: How to End the New Cold War and Prevent Nuclear Disaster. In this session, I'll summarize the book's afterword, a set of my concluding comments in the context of the U.S. political situation today. The 2024 electoral season began with even greater uncertainty than ever. Fear and loathing are normal reactions to disenfranchising choices between continued endless war and open appeals to fascism in the name of peace. The enormous profits made by military contractors, energy companies, and big pharma now monopolize the electoral process, draining it of all but the illusion of democracy. People need to find ways to register a genuine vote for peace and social justice. The moment is ripe for a new political response that could lead to a united fight against war, racism, and fascism. Major obstacles remain to be overcome. The grip of war propaganda continues to confuse and disorient the majority of people, especially here in the United States. News of constant massive protest in Europe appears only rarely in the mass media here, but the same economic devastation the war and sanctions have brought to Europe has come home in high prices, lost jobs, increased insecurity, and homelessness. A new Great Recession or Depression encroaches week by week. The massive protests in Europe may force their government leaders to stop selling out their countries to U.S. hegemony. A matching large-scale protest movement among people in the U.S. could bring the end of that hegemony closer. Dollar dominance is fading fast across the world, so that U.S. super profits are no longer guaranteed. Bankers are plagued by the specter of massive debt default at home and abroad, at both household and government levels. Meanwhile, China's peace efforts, based on mutual cooperation instead of weapons and war threats, have already brought countries together for common prosperity, where only war seemed possible before. Think of Iran and Saudi Arabia as good examples. The leaders of Ukraine and China have begun conversations that could bring realistic peace talks closer. Realistic in the sense of providing justice and security for the Donbass, Crimea, the rest of Russia, as well as the rest of Ukraine. U.S. leaders don't want such talks to even begin, let alone prosper. They want to use Ukraine endlessly in illusory efforts to weaken Russia. They seem to believe they can continue using force, threats of force, and economic isolation on the governments of China, Russia, and most other countries in the world. China's approach to peace has been working. Mutually beneficial trade has opened the way to better lives in nearly 150 countries across the globe that were previously mired in endless colonial and neocolonial debt. People in China are guaranteed health and economic well-being and actually have more say in government policies than people in the West. The leaders of the United States are determined to stop China's rise. That's like trying to stop the sun from rising. A better plan is to pull back from war and threats of war in favor of peace. People in the United States and Western Europe could have a better life if we can stop the U.S.-NATO war machine. That would take the world back from the threat of nuclear war, and it could lead to true prosperity everywhere. But we have to fight for it. We need to stop business as usual and refocus the country on peace and justice, redirect the war economy to meet people's needs, stop building weapons and invest in a livable future based on social equality and common prosperity. It can happen if we really try. That's part of the afterword to A Realistic Path to Peace. Find out more on my website, realpathtopeace.com. And you can send me questions or comments to info@realpathtopeace.com. I'd love to hear from you. Bye for now, and thank you very much.